welcome to the worst with Chad Austin. Full disclosure, I don't want to be here today. It felt this week. It just felt a little bit more like an obligation because I missed last week, and I hate. It feels like iTunes is judging me when I don't post weekly because it goes from like this user posts weekly, and then it'll say this user posts bi-weekly, and then if I don't do bi-weekly, it'll be like this user posts sporadically. Like I'm some kind of mental patient that just does whatever he wants when he wants and doesn't have a set schedule in life. And I want to be more consistent. I'm trying to be. I've been getting my ass kicked lately. And I want to start off with a story from the bar. Because if you listen to this, you know I run a bar. And Friday afternoon, when hellish of a day, but it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and this old man walks in looking like Rip Van Winkle, bald on top, long beard. And he sits down, and he's a little bit of a character, right? He has he has something to say about everything. He orders a Manhattan, and then he asks for a glass of water. And since I'm standing right there, I start pouring him the water first, and he's like, "How dare you get me water before my liquor?" And I'm like, "Yeah, shut up, you little bitch." And so I serve him, and as I'm like putting in his food order, he turns to the one other guy at the bar who happens to be a white guy and just randomly goes, "You know what we used to call black people where I'm from?" And I was like, "Oh, this isn't going to be good. This isn't going to be good at all, because if you know who I am and where I work, my business is probably about 70% black people coming to my work." So I look around the restaurant, and like, yeah, there's a lot of black people here. And I was like, he better bring his voice down a little bit. And he goes, "We used to call them darkies." And I was like, what the fuck? So I turn around and I go, "Hey, old man Winter, you need to bring it down a little bit. That's not okay." What? It was a long time ago. And it's from the south side of Chicago. And I was like, man, the south side of Chicago must have been really different back then, because I feel like you would have gotten shot. And so he's going on and he's rambling and he's talking to anybody that will listen to him, basically. He's just one of those people. Obviously a lonely old man. Fine, dude. Like, I know the type. I've dealt with the type many a times, and I usually humor them. But luckily for me, I didn't have to deal with it for too much longer, because a gentleman walked in, and this dude sat down and looked at me and goes, "Man, I'm high out of my mind on edibles. I just need some food." And he sat down like right next to the old man. And I was like, "All right, I got you." So I'm ringing his food for him. And then he starts, we play a lot of like old school soul and blues and stuff, and the dude that's high out of his mind just starts vibing with the music. And then old man catches him vibing, and then they start talking about like classic soul and blues for like a good 35 minutes. So that completely distracts the old man, right? Which is fantastic. And I'm like, all right, cool. I don't have to deal with him. These two are just having it back and forth, and there's nothing terrible being said because it's just talking about music. So 4 o'clock hits. 4:20. The nighttime bartender comes in. And my nighttime bartender is a British guy, and he's fucking really cool. His name's Mark. Shout out to Mark. And he walks in, and then he just introduces himself to the old man, right? And "Hello, my name's Mark," and that's not what he sounds like, but you get the point. And the old man's eyes light up, and I was like, "Oh God, what's gonna happen?" And he goes, Are you English?" And he's all, "Yeah." I'm from London. And he's like, immediately the old man just goes, "Hey, do you know where I can get a fag?" He's all, "I'm trying to smoke a fag." And I'm just standing there like, he's not gonna stop doing this. And sure enough, for the next 5 minutes at least, he he just kept on going, do you know where I can get a fag? I'm trying to smoke can you help me find and dude, it got to the point where I just printed out his check and I slid it over to him. And then I said, here, man, this is for you. You have a nice day. And he got so fucking mad. I was like, I'll close you out when you're ready. And he looks at me and he goes, I'll close it out up your asshole. And I was like, excuse me. He's like, bend over. Bend over. I'm going to close it out up your asshole. I was just like, sir, you need to go. You're getting too loud. And then if you've been to my place, when you're sitting at the bar, you're sitting back to the rest of the restaurant. He gets up out of his stool and he turns to the restaurant that is half full of people, and he goes, I'm going to shove this check up his asshole. Oh, I was like, all right, well, you need to go now. And you're never welcome back here, so thanks for that. And I finally got him to close his check, and he left while like yelling that he was going to shove something at my asshole the entire time. So I don't know, maybe he really was looking to smoke it. Yeah, never mind. All right, so let's get into some things. I have a few things. Okay, one thing I want to do is, the other day somebody was mentioning something to me about gaslighting, and I wasn't really sure what it was. And I was like, well, what you're explaining sounds awesome. So what I want to know is, I typed in, I was like, how to figure out if you're a gaslighter or not. And there was all these quizzes on, are you being gaslit? And finally I found one that said like, are you a gaslighter? And I was like, want to find out that, because I feel like it's me. So we're going to take a quiz right now. I haven't looked over these questions. I just pulled it up. It's some random, this lady claims that she's a psychiatrist and it's her stupid ass website. But I'm going to go through her quiz questions and we'll read them out loud. And we're going to find out today, am I a gaslighter or not? Okay. The first question and by the way, the question, the survey is called, are you a gaslighter or nah? NAH. So it seems very professional. All right. Did you hide any item to mislead someone? Oh yeah, I've done that. I mean, like, yeah. Like, I guess, I mean, that seems very, very vague. It seems like she's gaslighting me right now. Because I feel like everybody's done this. But all right. Yes. Do you ignore other people's feelings for your own benefit? Absolutely, I do. Yeah. I'd say about 99% of everybody else's feelings don't really matter to me. And when I say 99%, I really mean it's like 99.9. Most of the time, I put myself above everybody. Let's just say that. All right, number 3. Is it easy for you to break someone's psychology? I mean, some easier than others, but if I put a little effort into it, sure. Okay. Do you make fun of people's weaknesses? Absolutely, I do. All right. Do you think that you are cruel? Now, I wouldn't call myself cruel. I know I just said I make fun of other people's weaknesses, but I usually only do that on stage in a roast battle or, behind somebody's back when, like if I don't know a person and, they walk funny or look weird, like you say something to somebody else and it's fun. So I'm going to say I'm not cruel because I don't do it to strangers' faces or, even family members' faces. I do that behind their back too. All right. How good are you at manipulating someone? So this is where I don't agree with this test, because the only answers you could pick are I am really good or I'm not good at all. I feel like I fall somewhere in the middle of that. Like, I think there are certain people that I can manipulate better than others. And not like, I think half the time I'm not even really trying. I just want things to go my way, right? And like, and I guess, well, I guess that is trying. Like, I'm forcing my reality on somebody, right? Like, that's manipulating. All right, cool. So I'm just gonna say I'm really good. I'm gonna give myself the, hardly ever do I have confidence in anything, but I'm feeling pretty strong on this one. Are you honest? You know what? I think I am. I feel like I'm honest to a fault. I think I say things that I shouldn't quite often. So I'm gonna say yes, that I am honest. Do you always blame the other person? Now, see, this is if I fuck up, I own my shit. So I'm gonna say no on this one. Did you pretend to love someone you didn't love? Dad. No. No. Yeah, well, did I? I mean, I guess there was girlfriends in the past. Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say no. I don't think I've ever done that. Do you belittle other people's feelings? Dude, all the time. I try to make, and I maybe it's wrong to do this, but my way of like dealing with people's problems is trying to make them believe that their problems aren't that big of a deal. In fact, I constantly tell people, it's not that big of a deal. That's like one of my go-to lines when people are telling me their problems. And it's not that big of a deal. Like, we'll figure this out. It's not that big of a deal. You got this. Like, so your mom died. Like, did she leave you any money? Are you going to be okay? Is there life insurance? Then it's not that big of a deal. You had her for, what, 20 years, 30 years? They're going to die sometime, right? No, but, yeah, I definitely belittle people's feelings. It's only a 10-question quiz. I thought I was going to get a lot more time out of this thing. All right, submit answers. Let's find out. I'm 70% a gaslighter. I didn't think that it was going to come down percentages. I thought it was going to be like you are or you aren't. I feel like I'm being gaslit right now, but tell me I'm 70%. I still don't know if I'm using that term right. I feel like gaslighting is just like lying somebody to get like your way, right? Like pushing your truth towards somebody, making them feel like they're wrong. I think I'm right. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me. All right, so 70% a gaslighter and 100% a terrible person. All right, so what's next? Dude, it's okay, just so you guys know, it's 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning. And I think I've done a 9 a.m. podcast once, and it's always just out of fucking necessity. Like, I don't pick this time because I want this time. I much rather would have been here later this afternoon, but I also need to make sure I get this episode out as soon as possible. So I guess earlier the better. And then also later on today, well, not later on today, like as soon as I leave here, I'm going to pick up my girls, and then we're going to DragCon, baby. Dude, I'm super excited. So my wife's been going. My wife has 2 friends in town. And since Friday, they've been going to like DragCon. If you don't know what it is, RuPaul's Drag Race. All of the queens from the show up to the LA Convention Center, and they have their own little booths. And you meet them, and then there's panels, and then there's like announcements and all kinds of shit. And it's really tight because I love me some drag queens, and I think RuPaul's Drag Race is easily the best, like reality competition show on television. I really love these dudes. They're really rad, and I'm excited to meet some of them today. But the one bad thing about this is it's such like a cash grab. Like, okay, so basically, for those who aren't in the know, when you go into the convention center, everybody is in their own little booths, right? But they are like, it's not just like It's not just like a normal booth at a convention center where like you walk up and there's a table and then there's like merch on the table and then somebody's sitting there selling it. Like they have like more elaborate booths, and then usually the queen is behind like a wall, so you can't even really see them. And then if you want to meet them, if you want like a meet and greet, you have to buy merch. And they all have minimums. So most of these people are paying like somewhere around $40, like just in merchandise to meet, their favorite drag queens, which is wild. Like the amount of money that these queens are fucking killing it. Like I can't even imagine how much money they're pulling in. Like everybody, like all the t-shirts and whatnot are $40. You have to spend a minimum. Like some of them are like the one that just recently won, her minimum's 80. Like that's wild. And then some of them have like, some of them are sneaky. Some of them have like a minimum of 45, but then their merch items are like either 40 or 30. So you have to buy one of each to hit the $45 minimum. Like there isn't like a sticker you can buy for $5 to hit it to 45. Like it's shady out in these streets. But they it should be fun. It if anything, there should be amazing people watching. Like the people that are going to be there, not only just the queens, but the people that are going to be there, probably decked out to the nines, trying to impress. I'm excited. There's going to be a lot of eye candy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I got that right after this, so I had no time, and then the work schedule's been crazy. Life's a bitch, and then you die. Okay, so next thing. Yesterday, was it yesterday? Yesterday, I watched this new movie that came out called The Northmen. Now, I don't know. I'm sure you've seen the trailers because, at least for me, when like the movie was coming out, Instagram had like the sponsored trailer for this movie like every 3 posts. So I just saw the trailer for it over and over again. And it looked cool, like Vikings and shit. Why not? And so then I get it, and I'm about to put it on, and then right before I put it on, I read the synopsis. And the synopsis basically says, a king killed by his brother, a boy on the run from his uncle trying to save his mother from her captivity, and reclaim his place as king. And as soon as I read that, I was like, oh, the Northman is just the Lion King. Like, this has the same exact plot line as the Lion King. Prince sees his dad die by the hands, by the hands of his uncle, and then runs away while his mom is left there in his custody, and then doesn't come back for like 15 years until he is a grown-ass man or lion, depending on which movie, and then goes back to avenge and, reclaim his throne, right? I was like, okay, so this is the fucking Lion King. And then the movie starts, and we're talking Vikings, right? Like Icelandic people, like fucking Nordics. When you think of Nordics, what do you think? Well, you think of big, beautiful, blonde people, right? And sure enough, many of them were. Most of them were. And then the uncle, the villain, the bad guy, walks in, and his hair is as black as can be with like a salt and pepper beard. And I'm like, oh, this guy's Scar. This is Scar from The Lion King. And so he kills him, and then Simba runs away. They all have really fucking Icelandic names, so I don't remember any of them. So I'm going to call the main character Simba. So Simba runs away, and then it says years later. Like, it's not even like many. It doesn't even say how many. It just says years later. And he is a full-grown man, buff as can be. And I want to also know, where, back in these times when people lived in huts on hillsides, where did they work out? Because this dude has every muscle set. And I understand, like, if you have to, lift water barrels and do all this stuff, like, your maintenance for your house. But I don't think you get this type of definition from just doing your chores. So Simba's buff, and he's running with this crew that basically they all think they're wolves. So he's like a wild boy now. And there's no Timon and Pumbaa. I was looking for them the whole time. If anything, Timon and Pumbaa were skinned and they wear them as hats. But they raid this village. They kill all these women and children. Really fucked up shit. And then after he raids this village, like he drinks something, and then he sees like like this witch like comes to him in a vision, who is played by Bjork. And she starts telling him about his future and what he needs to do and how he needs to, avenge his father. And I was like, oh, Bjork's Rafiki. So now we have Scar, Rafiki, Simba. We had what was the king's name? I can't remember what the king what Simba's dad's name was. Mufasa. Fuck. How did I forget that? Mufasa. So the first hour of this movie is going, textbook Lion King. But then I'm not going to give away anything after the first hour because, like, I think everyone should watch this because it's a fucking fun movie. But then the second hour, we go way past Lion King, and this is where it turns into, like, Icelandic black metal Lion King. Like, it just becomes the gnarliest shit. The deaths are really tight. It's very graphic. It's very gory. This motherfucker makes people pay, right? I highly suggest watching this movie. I know you probably thought I wasn't going to go there when I was comparing it to a children's movie, but this is the black metal Lion King. Like, I imagine that there are dudes out there in like full like black metal makeup looking like King Diamond and shit, just stroking their meat to this movie. Like this is Icelandic folklore at its finest, and that's that's black metal, right? Like, they love that shit. And I started looking up places in the movie, and there is a place in Iceland called the Gates of Hell. No wonder metal comes from this fucking place. Like, black metal, like the most evil of metal. There's a mountain called the Gates of Hell. That's fucking tight, dude. I want to go there. But I also don't think I should go there because I don't think I could stop myself from laughing when I hear these people talk. Their language sounds so funny to me. The Swedish chef from the Muppets, like it's like perfect. Like Herbert, like that is what they mostly sound like, even when they're trying to sound tough. And I just feel like I would insult people too much by like giggling when they're talking. So as much as I'd like to see the Gates of Hell, don't think I should ever go to Iceland. Also, when am I ever going to go anywhere? I'm poor. All right. What's next? Dave Chappelle. I wrote this down last week and I kind of wanted to talk about it, but I don't know if I really care anymore. Like, I think it's already been talked about enough. But if you live under a rock, Dave Chappelle got tackled at the Hollywood Bowl. I guess it was there's good and bad that happened, right? Like, the bad thing is that Hollywood Bowl security sucks ass because this kid was able to make it all the way to the front of the stage and then jump on the stage and tackle Dave Chappelle. And of course, immediately everybody went to, well, this is all Will Smith's fault, right? Will Smith smacked somebody on national television and made everyone think it was okay to run up on stage. And sure, that might be the case too. But Dave Chappelle's crew had a rebuttal, which was dislocating both of this kid's shoulders and breaking one of his arms and fucking up his face a little bit. Like, this kid got stomped out. He's like 23 years old. They said that he had... It was confusing reports because they said that he had a knife shaped like a gun, but then somebody else said that it was a replica gun with a knife attached to it, like he was like a Beretta, beret, something. What you know, when you put the knife at the end of the rifles, whatever it's called. But yeah, so the kid got stomped out. There was a famous picture of him, being loaded into the back of an ambulance where his arm looks like it's facing the wrong way. And I think, if anything, like, yeah, maybe they went a little too hard on the kid. But at the same time, I feel like it was meant to send a message to everybody who was thinking about jumping on a stage and attacking any type of performer, that not all of them are going to do a Chris Rock and just go, wow, dude. You might get fucked up if you do it. I think that's the moral of the story. Like, you're taking a risk. You're taking you're attacking somebody who, especially somebody like Chappelle, who has like diehard homies and diehard fans. I think that there's going to be an issue when that happens. And then what was it, 2 days ago, I heard that somebody had spoken to the kid, and the kid said that had a bullshit story, which I don't know if I believe. He said that he attacked Dave Chappelle in protest to the gentrification of his mother's neighborhood. I don't see that being a real thing. I think that I don't know why he did it, but like it doesn't make sense that it's not until like 2 weeks later that you say that for the first time, right? Like, if this was the real case, like, it should have been written on your clothes, or you should have had a sign, or you should have tried to grab the mic and say something. But you tackled a man, you got your ass beat, and then a week and a half later is the first time anyone hears about you protesting the gentrification of your mother's neighborhood. It seems a little fishy. It doesn't seem like it's the real reason why you did it. Especially because there's all these things saying that this kid is a SoundCloud rapper who has a song called Dave Chappelle. I mean, it seems like you went there to attack Dave Chappelle because you wanted to attack Dave Chappelle, and now you're trying to blame it on other shit. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm done talking about that because I honestly didn't care too much anymore in the first place. I am phoning it in right now. Like, it's I don't want to be here. It's too early in the morning. I'm trying to stretch time. I'm sorry. I do have a couple other things though. Do I want to get into abortion? Yeah, I mean, the Roe v. Wade thing. And the other day I was thinking, what if Roe, like, I asked a couple people, I was like, who was Roe and who was Wade? Because I never knew and never cared. And I thought it would be hilarious if Roe was the woman and Wade was the baby she was aborting. And that was who she was. But no, it turns out that it's, Roe is the woman, and then Wade is. I thought Wade was maybe like a county in Texas or some shit, but it turns out Wade is the other person. And so they're overturning that, the abortion laws and everything. And normally I'd like to be a contrarian about this, but I don't care, man. Do whatever you want with your body. I'm actually, like, if some people are pro-choice, I'm pro-abortion, dude. Like, there are too many mouths to feed in this world. Let's get rid of more of them. Even the people that want to keep their babies, there should be a lottery of some sort, right? Like, let's take this into like Hunger Games times, right? Like, shit's getting too crazy out there. There's too many people, and let's be honest, most of these people that we're making nowadays aren't really going to do anything with their lives. They're not going to amount to anything. They're going to grow up and dance on TikTok for a living, right? And we don't need another one of those. So there should be some sort of lottery where you find out you're pregnant, and then, like, once a month, all the pregnant people in each city are gathered together. And let's say there's, a few thousand of them. Then we let 10% of the babies live. Let's abort the rest of them. I'm fully pro-abortion. I wish I was an abortion. I think that it would be better for all of us if less people could get pregnant. Because most of the people getting pregnant are really stupid. And it's making, Have you been to LA? Do you see how many homeless people we have? You know how we could have avoided a lot of this if their parents had an abortion. So, man, let's figure this out, but we can't get rid of abortion. Not every child deserves to be born. That's just crazy talk. A rape baby doesn't need to be born. A trailer park baby doesn't need to be born. Like these are things that we can eradicate from our lives. Armenian baby, no. So yeah, that's my stance on abortion. And what? Okay, so I don't know. I think we got a little bit. This Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing's kind of wild. Like, I saw this woman, and I've only been watching clips. I do not have the fucking time to sit down and watch the full fucking live stream of a trial, because half of it is insanely boring and just a lawyer saying hearsay every fucking 3 words. But sometimes there's gems, and there's been a couple clips like Amber Heard talking about her abuse. I don't believe any, like, I know we're supposed to believe women, but she's not a great actress, right? And this seemed so put on. Like, I'm sure you've told this story before, right? It seemed so rehearsed that I actually kind of do believe that, was it a vodka bottle he fucked her with? Or is it a wine bottle? Wine bottle makes more sense because Johnny Depp's all like wino cokehead. But I kind of believe that. I think that one actually happened, because that sounds like something somebody that's been a celebrity for 30 years would, try to get away with doing. It was like, hey, I'm going to shove this up your pussy and we're going to see how it feels. Didn't like it. But let's see. Some and then the other one, I don't even really want to talk about this too much, but the other one was people were saying that she did coke on the stand. And I'll add it to a clip or something, the video, the like GIF or video of her doing it. But there is no way, you fucking morons. You've never done cocaine if you think that she did cocaine on the stand with a camera in her face off of a tissue. You don't do cocaine off of a tissue. She had a tissue in her hand. What it looked like to me was she went to like get a little snot out, and then she took her pinky through the tissue and then got a boog out of her nose, dude. Like, she was just trying to be a lady about fucking ripping a boog on camera. So the whole coke thing, that's just people stretching to try to find something to hate this woman about. And I don't see why you need to stretch to find something to hate this woman about. She took a shit on a man's bed. Like, that one's fully admitted. And she cut off his pinky. or is it ring finger? Like, she has many things that were fully admitted to hate her about if you really want to hate her. Personally, I don't care about either one of them. I think they're both shitty people. They both did fucked up things to each other. What they should do is, instead of suing each other for, like, what, he gets 50 million if he wins, she gets 150 million if she wins, I think that they should just fucking break the difference and donate $100 million to like an abused spouse fucking charity or some shit. You guys, neither one of you need the money. And at this point, you guys are just being fucking petty. You bunch of fucking Tom Petties. And I think that you should just donate this money to a fucking charity for people that actually need it, people that need shelter from people that are actually abusing them on a daily basis. And then you two fuck off from each other, never see each other again, and then live happy lives. One of you, acting in terrible movies like Aquaman, and the other one doing coke and drinking wine. You guys will be fine. Just stay away from each other. You're both fucking toxic people. You suck. Johnny Depp, dude, you used to be cool, and then, like, you, like, turned into Captain Jack Sparrow. You did fake-ass British accent. Bullshit. And I don't even know if it's British. I think, like, it's like you're trying to be Keith Richards, and, like think that was your, like, Captain Jack Sparrow thing. And now you're just all like this. I'm Johnny Depp, and she took a grumpy on my bed. Like, you can speak higher than a whisper, you fucking putz. Like, not everything has to. You were talking about a lady taking a shit on your bed. It doesn't have to sound seductive. Not everything. Dude, I know that for like 30 years you've been a sex symbol, so you think that everything you say is to make a woman want to fuck you, but it's not necessary in a court case. Speak up, dude. I'm tired of going up to full volume to hear what you're saying. Talk. Anyways, you haven't made a good movie in a long time, and it saddens me. Hey, do we think that Britney Spears should have been let off of her conservatorship? Bitch is kind of crazy, right? And now she's having a baby? I that whole abortion talk I just had? I think she's another one of those that doesn't need one. Because, I mean, yeah, she posts the same photo like 50 times of her naked with like little hearts over her cooter. And then she puts like a 6-paragraph caption on it about how she just discovered that she can make reservations to restaurants online. It's like, and then the next thing is just a video of her dancing, which is her just spinning in circles and whipping her hair. Like, I don't know if we need to give her an abortion, because I think she might just tumble dry this baby. Like, but I don't. Maybe her dad wasn't the right person to watch over her, but I feel like somebody should be watching over this woman. I don't think she has all of her faculties. I don't think she's fully with what the world has to offer and what she has to offer the world anymore. Yeah, dude. I think freeing Britney was a bad choice. We should lock her back up. My stance is she's fine in a mansion by herself. Her boyfriend can stay too. Just let's keep her there. She can go out supervised. She doesn't need to be showing her pussy on beaches in fucking Hawaii and wherever else she's been. I follow it because it's crazy. And I'll admit that I do follow it because this bitch is out of her mind. But I don't know if it's necessary and what we need right now. I mean, it could be what we need. Because, I mean, I honestly, she's like taking the place of Trump for me. Like, Trump on Twitter used to be the crazy that I would look forward to. And now Britney Spears on Instagram is the crazy I look forward to. Britney Spears is the female Trump. That's how I'm labeling it now. She's my Trump. Unless Elon lets Trump come back. But I don't know. Trump. I looked into this, and Trump said that he won't come back to Twitter because he's too focused on his own social media, which is the Truth social network. I don't think that's gonna fly, dude. I don't think you're. No one's gonna stay. No one's gonna stay. That it's gonna die. So Trump, just come back to Twitter and tell us that Rosie O'Donnell's a fat pig at 3 a.m. while you're sitting on the toilet. Like, that's what I'm here for. That's what I want to know. I want to know who you despise. And I want to know what kind of crazy shit you're going to say at all hours of the night. You're old. Why aren't you asleep? But it's so entertaining. And if you just look at it as entertainment, then you won't get mad about it. For all the people that get upset about Trump's Twitter. But it's funny. And I think that he should be back around. I found a post on my Instagram that is called, it was from Vice magazine, which, and honestly, I feel like I should probably wait and do this one when I have a guest, because otherwise I'm just gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna look like an asshole. But this post is gonna, this post says 20 easy ways to make a woman's life more bearable. Now, already with the title, I hate it, because the whole thing has always been like equal rights, right? Like equal, like women are equal to men and all this stuff. Why should we be making your life more bearable when ours are not? My life is not bearable. I barely get through it every day. So why should I be working on making yours better? I need to work on my own. You can work on your own. And that's equal. We will both work on each other. Why the fuck do I have to do anything for you? And so I'll just do the first couple, and maybe I'll do this with a guest, and so I can get some, and I just don't sound like an entire misogynist by myself. Learn to praise women without demonizing other women. You're not like other girls. This is not a compliment. We want to be like other girls. Other girls are awesome. Now, are they? Because most women I talk to do not have very many female friends because they don't get along with them. So are most women awesome? Are other women awesome? Because as far as I understand, you guys are all fucking catty and most of the time hate each other. So if I feel like if I tell you you're not like another girl, I'm actually complimenting you because of the information you've given me, not because of how I'm perceiving it. It's the actual information you've given me to where you're like, that bitch is ugly. That bitch has cellulite. That bitch, there's always that bitch, right? So don't buy that for a second. Before explaining something to a woman, ask yourself if she already knows more about this thing than you. I don't even know if I want to go there, but you know what? It's fine. I'm going to save this for another time. Just neither one of our lives are bearable, and you make almost as much money as us, so just shut the fuck up and do your own thing, and I'm going to do my own thing. And life goes on, but there's 20 different things in here, and we're definitely going to save some of this because I think that this could be a good back and forth with somebody. I don't know if I have anything else. I think we're gonna call it. It's 36 minutes in. Dude, I'm running on E. There's no gas in the tank. There's no sugar in the tank today. And actually there will be sugar in the tank later when I go to DragCon. Thank you for watching The Worst. Please do the likes and the subscribes and the rates and the reviews. Tell your friends, tell your moms, tell your sisters. I don't want to work a real job anymore. Thank you. Bye.